Hey Legionnaires, and welcome back to Comic Breakdown. And if you're new to the channel, be sure to hit that sub button and hit that notification bell if you enjoy the content that we have coming out. And today, we are going to be diving into Future State Superman House of El. Now, this is a issue number 1, but I'm pretty sure it is a one-shot that may eventually lead into another series. Now, if you haven't been keeping up with the Future State event, go ahead and check out the link in my description, as well as the top of this video. It'll get you completely caught up on everything related to Future State. And with that being said, let's dive into this issue. Alright, so the House of El picks us up while they are under attack. A house that has stood 1,000 years is now having its walls tested to the extreme. And so with this issue, we're seeing the debut of a few other superheroes that we haven't seen before. One of them being Rowan Kent and the other Ronan Kent, both descendants of Jonathan Kent. Now, Rowan is the new Superman of Earth, while his sister is a Blue Lantern. And what we see here is Rowan, Alora, Kal-El, and Theand'r all fighting off parademons. And so at first glance, this would look like some kind of attack from Apocalypse or New Apocalypse. Now, this is Earth's moon, the Fortress of Sanctuary, and we have Brainiac 4 inside trying to calculate the best defensive strategy that they can do. And our Supermen were able to hold off this advance, this wave, but not without casualties, not without people getting hurt. And we have Theand'r sitting here talking to her father, Brandon Kent. And he's just really being a worried father at this point. And she doesn't want him to worry, because at the end of the day, she's a superhero. And she doesn't want her father checking in with her to make sure that she's okay. Though he does worry. And this is where Ronan asks everybody for a sit rep. And they're just letting them know that a lot of their forces have been depleted. They're using War World engines. They have Valkyries on standby. They're using all the forces that they have at their disposal to be able to fight off this attack. And while it does look bleak, Ronan lets them know that they've faced harder odds than this. And this is when we're interrupted by Rowan, Ronan's sister, also a Blue Lantern. And Ronan asks what happened, and she tells him that the coalition of lanterns has failed. There's never been an army like this one that's coming, and the Red King commands not just Apocalypse, but the gods of New Genesis as well, and has an armada made of ships of every world that he has ever conquered. And that's not even the worst of it. The Red King himself is with them, and there's no one left out there to help them. There's no United Planets, there's no rebels, there's nothing. They've already all been taken out by the Red King prior to them going for the House of El. And of course, Ronan won't accept this. He won't accept that there's no hope for them to win, and that Brainiac has been scanning for United Planet forces for some time now. And then Brainiac lets him know, like, no, I haven't. But he does have the star maps up, and he is searching for something. We just don't know what it is. But he's searching for some kind of hope. And this is when they get an alert, and the next wave is approaching the dome. And our heroes make their way into battle. Valkyries by their side. They're taking on all the forces of the Red King. And while this battle is going on, we see some parademons messing with some kind of Kryptonian bomb. And so Brandon Kent grabs them and flies them up, only for it to explode as soon as they reach a certain altitude. Not that that's the reason, they just got far enough away for the explosion to not affect everybody else. And this is when Theand'r loses it. She completely breaks and snaps and just starts destroying everything in her wake. And we get a look at some really phenomenal artwork for here that I'm pretty sure I'm going to end up making the thumbnail for this, because I really do love it. It is one heck of a piece of artwork. And then we pick back up with Brainiac, and he's found something. And he tells the computer to triangulate radiation signature's point of origin and launch the fastest orphan box, enable IA drone to point out origin immediately, saying that there is hope. And he runs outside to find Alora, and saying that nothing they're doing now actually really matters, because they found it. They found hope. And this is when we see Brainiac gone in an instant, only to show up in the hands of Black Racer, ripped in half. And the House of El comes down on top of Black Racer with a fury. But Black Racer gets out of there before they can touch her. And as they go to the side of Brainiac, a voice comes through, but it's not Brainiac's. It's the voice of the Red King, letting him know that there is no hope. And that if they lay down their sigils, if they renounce the House of El, this will all end now. Or they can choose to stand and fight tomorrow. The choice is completely up to them. And they all denounce the Red King and say that they serve Superman and the House of El. And later on that evening, we pick up with Ronan and Theand'r. And she's talking about the stories of old. The stories of Kal-El, of Clark Kent. Because now to them, it seems like a distant mythology that could possibly not even be true. Though, yeah, they are all descendants and they sing songs of his great victories and all of these things. They've never met this person. And so to her, this is all mythology and it could all just be fake stories that they were told. And it makes her wonder, what if Kal-El was just never real at all? And this is where he tells her that he is real. To them, to Brandon, to Brainiac, to everybody that wears this sigil, he is real. Even if he didn't exist, to them, it is real. And with the sun cresting, shining on the city at first daybreak, our heroes stand ready to do battle with whatever may come their way. But they're not prepared for what's about to come, because what's about to come is doomsdays. A whole legion of doomsdays. Ronan, realizing that city defenses are going to be useless against doomsdays, they have to meet them in the field. And so everybody charges. And we see the House of El versus the Red King army. And the House of El is dominating these guys. And this is where we see the Black Racer show up and start knocking heads. Only to get tripped up by Alora, telling her that she shouldn't have come here because not even gods can outrun their sins. And this battle continues to rage on. We see our Blue Lantern taking on Doomsdays. We see a Doomsday throwing Ronan into the ground, only for him to shoot down a ship and have it come crashing down on top of them. And this is when Kal-El gets a little cocky. It's like, it's not bad, but we, the House of El, have been taking you monsters down since the first Superman. And this is when he gets blasted by heat vision in the back of his head, only to reveal the Red King himself, also known as Pyros, cousin to the House of El. And he's here to tell them that his rule will be a benevolent one, that he will ensure that the histories remember favorably, and that the symbol of Superman that they dishonor will finally come to mean great things. And this is where we see Superman versus Superman. And they sit here in battle, and they say for the House of El, and he hates when they say this. Like, how dare you guys speak that name? Because he is the son of Kal-El. Not some random descendant, but a direct descendant. His son. Now, at first, we're thinking maybe Jonathan, but it doesn't make sense, right? But we'll dive into that, because it tells us here in a little bit. And as this battle is going on, Ronan comes in and gives an uppercut to the Red King and lets him know Clark Kent was the name he chose, and I don't see anything of him in you. And this battle rages on. Ronan versus Pyros and the rest of our superheroes fighting off the Doomsdays to the best of their ability. But this is when a sharp wind comes in, so strong that it's literally blowing the Doomsdays away. And as the dust clears, they see who it is. It's him, the one and only Clark Kent. Kal-El, the one and only Superman. And this is where we learn that the mother is actually Cersei. And Pyros' mother had told him that by the time his father returned, he would be strong enough to kill him. And this is where Clark just tells him that, yeah, she was wrong, as he grabs his fist and just backhands him, and then walks over to him and steps on his chest and tells him, don't get up just yet. I want to speak to you. And he tells him, your mother set you on this path, took you away from me, but I'm here now, and we need one another. Where I've been, the dimension where your mother trapped me, it's in terrible danger, and they need their own Superman. So you're gonna come with me, and I'll help you become the man I only dreamt of being. And this is when Theand'r comes up and she's just like, are you really him? And he says, I'm so proud of all of you. Seeing your children surpass you is one of the greatest joys in life. And I know Brandon Kent would feel the same way about you. And he lets him know that he'll come back. But the story of what happens here is theirs to tell. Use it to give people hope. And so where truth and justice served once more by 7 scions of a fallen sun, their task the age of heroes to restore, their never-ending battle has just begun. And that will be where this issue ends. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Personally, I did thoroughly enjoy House of El. It was a lot of fun. And seeing that Superman had a child with someone that wasn't Lois Lane, not only that wasn't Lois Lane, but was a witch. That's, Superman must have got pretty lonely out there after Lois Lane had passed away. I don't know if I fully accept that so much, as I would like to see the story built on how that relationship was formed to begin with. But yeah, with that being said, it was really a phenomenal issue. I cannot wait for some more House of El, and having Clark Kent arrive and save the day and really bring his son to a new place where he can re-image himself into a better person, I think it is a great thing. But I think Superman also let him off the hook a little bit because he is his son. Anybody else would be thrown away in prison, and he's just taking him somewhere else where the chance of him being a dictator could definitely happen. But yeah, with that being said, let me know what you guys think down in the comments. If you have not already, please do me a favor, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and until the next issue.